Van life isn't always unicorns and rainbows. The reality of living this lifestyle comes with its own set of challenges, but it's all about embracing the journey and learning from our experiences. Today, I'm going to share with you some of the challenges I've faced and how I've overcome them to continue to live my authentic, free spirited life on the road. Being aware of the challenges and preparing for them makes these bumps in the road a little bit more manageable. Adjusting to no familiarity. Pre-van life, you probably had friends and family you saw occasionally. You had some sort of routine. And when you went to make a grocery store run, you knew which side the milk was going to be on. Maybe you went to the coffee shop and the barista knew you, or at least you knew how to get to the coffee shop without using GPS. When you go on vacation, you expect to see all these new faces and new places, but living van life is not vacation, and the lack of familiarity just hits you a little bit differently. It takes a bit to adjust, and the sooner you find a routine that works for you, the better. On the bright side, the lack of familiarity does give you the opportunity to spread your wings and fly, and definitely makes you more resilient. Fully embracing the less is more mentality. I've always been somewhat of a minimalist, and I don't really get attached to things. Until you try to put everything you own into one minivan, you don't realize how much stuff you have. Convenience is generally available when you're not living in a van, had to go. No computer printer, no Keurig coffee maker, no Ninja to make smoothies with, no box of Christmas decorations. Now, it isn't that you can't have all of those things, but your priorities do change. Clothing has been the biggest challenge for me because it's hard to get rid of some of those outfits that you want just for a special occasion. During the first few months of van life, I found myself purging regularly. Your mentality does change, and the space becomes more valuable than whatever convenience you thought you wanted to have. Adapting to weather conditions. No matter where you live, I think the months of spring and fall can vary from one extreme to the other, but living in a van and moving across states has made that experience even greater of an extreme. I've gone from being so hot that I would keep a fan right in front of my face to being so cold that I have to unpack more blankets, all within 1 week. So planning ahead will help you the most. Maintaining a healthy diet. When you're traveling, you come across all kinds of restaurants you want to try, even new fast food restaurants. But let's face it, aren't most fast food restaurants all the same? Eating out can quickly become a huge expense. And you might have to remind yourself frequently that you're not on vacation, that van life is your new lifestyle. You have the opportunity to find local farmers markets and fresh produce, and keeping fruits and vegetables on hand when you get those driving munchies, and saying no to those typical road trip snacks. The good thing is that grocery stores are plentiful, and you may find yourself visiting them more frequently due to limited refrigerator space. Managing finances. Just because you're living van life, you don't get to escape the dreaded budget. In fact, living van life may make it having a budget even more important. I've said it before, but you may have to remind yourself that van life is your chosen lifestyle, not vacation, because it's very easy to overspend. And don't forget to have money put away when you might have unexpected expenses. You never know when you might have a breakdown or an unexpected event. And generally, when a van is your home, those repairs and maintenance can't be put off. And if you have something major, you might have an expense of hotel rooms as well as the repair. So be prepared for the unexpected. Building a supportive community. Connecting with like-minded individuals and building a supportive community can be challenging while constantly on the move. But it's important to find a tribe. There are so many Facebook groups out there that it's easy to want to join them all. And at first, that's probably okay. Find the ones that provide you with the most value, and then narrow it down to one or two groups that you interact with regularly. You'll start to recognize some of the names and some of the little profile pictures, and having that connection can can mean a lot when you're living on the road. Sometimes our friends and family just don't have the same understanding when it comes to our lifestyle, and having a community of like-minded people is so important. You will meet people along the way, but how you think of community might change a little bit. You have more virtual connections than face-to-face connections with your community. Staying connected. The online world can be tricky while living on the road. And I've got a good jetpack that I use that keeps me connected most of the times, but sometimes you'll just go places that you don't get a signal. I like to listen to podcasts and books, and so I always have to be sure that I'm downloading them when I have a good connection so that I have those available when I maybe don't have such a good connection. It gets dark so early, and when you're trying to be stealth, it's nice to have those books to listen to, or being able to even watch a quick downloaded movie on your phone is great. We are so used to being connected nowadays that it can be frustrating when you don't get internet or your signal is just not as good as you want it to be able to stream some of those things. So be prepared to disconnect from the world sometimes. Maintaining a comfortable living space. I don't mind living in a small space at all. In fact, I actually prefer it. But when you live in a small space, keeping it clean and organized is critical. Your van is your sanctuary. And just like a larger home, you want to be comfortable. And clutter and disarray in a van can be magnified in smaller spaces. And you can't be lazy about putting everything back where it goes when you're done with it. Make your van cozy, add some pillows or some fairy lights, and your van has to be somewhere that you want to be, especially on rainy days. These are just a few of the challenges that I've faced overcoming in my van life journey. What are some of the things that you've struggled with? Tell me in the comments below. Van life and all of its challenges is ultimately about embracing the journey and learning from our experiences. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more van life adventures. And until next time, stay wild and stay free.